My name is Heidi Boulanger, and I'm here today to introduce you to Roger Rule, author of The Rifleman's Rifle and Other Books, and host of this series of episodes, Special Guns with Roger Rule.
Thank you, Heidi, and welcome. And welcome, viewers, to my 37th episode of Special Guns with Roger Rule.
What do we have here today?
The theme of these recent videos has been to introduce our viewers to fine Italian guns and exceptional Italian engraving. Today, however, this episode 37 is a video that's going to seem strange, at least unusual to our subscribers compared to our other videos. We will be featuring two guns, but it is the story behind the two guns that I want to share. It starts with the handmade gun maker Ferlib. Ferlib was located in the Mecca, the world's best gun makers, in Italy, in the province of Brescia, in Gardone, Valtrompia, as are so many other handmade Italian gun makers. It was founded in 1947 by Libero Ferraglio. He used the shortened name Ferlib, using two syllables of his name. The maker first produced a few handmade best guns in the form of sidelocks. He apprenticed Ivano Tanfoglio, and in the 1960s, encouraged by Tanfoglio, they changed their focus to become the first Italian maker to build best guns with Anson-Dealey box lock actions instead of sidelock actions. Tanfoglio recognized that most best guns are sidelocks, so his idea was to offer best guns made with box locks, yet with the same attention to detail as those best sidelocks. This strategy separated them from the pack, and their box lock guns continued to be made as best guns totally by hand. Their box locks became classic Italian game guns, having all the custom work with the cost savings of the time involved in creating a box lock versus a side lock. During this best guns box lock era of Ferlib, according to the Blue Book of Gun Values, they produced 100 to 150 handmade guns annually, and all of their guns were best guns. Eventually, Ivano Tanfoglio became a master gun maker himself and took over the company when Ferraglio retired. Tanfoglio was well known for his innovative thinking and was an early master for programming CAD, computer-aided design work. He was working on an idea for a round action over and under, and to properly fund it, he went into partnership with Bautista Rizzini in 2005. Bautista Rizzini was one of three brothers that opened three separate gun-making businesses competing with each other. The other two, Isidori, started FAIR, F-A-I-R, in 1971, and Emilio started Army Technique in the early 70s. With the timing of CNC machines, all three specialized in machine manufacture. The Fratelli Rizzini, the brothers Rizzini that from our episode 31, are these brothers' uncles. Bautista, the third brother, was the first of the three in business and founded his company in 1966, according to his website. Since its beginning, Bautista's products became the most recognized of the three brothers' work. Today, it is his company that has acquired worldwide recognition and is better known simply as Rizzini. At first, his factory was compact, light and airy, located on a hillside in a residential area just north of Gardone. Bautista's nephew, Giorgio Guerini, ran the business while Bautista supervised the 15-man operation. Today, he has three children that are actively involved in the family-run business. And today, it is this company that most people know as Rizzini because of the huge volume of guns built and sold annually. Bautista credits the reasons that his company continuously strives for perfection and uses the best quality materials and craftsmanship. Close quote. He feels his success has been achieved through continuous investment in the best technology and integrated that with traditional workmanship. So back to Ferlib, when Tanfoglio needed funding for his new round action design, Bautista Rizzini basically provided the capital, making a partnership deal with Tanfoglio. Together, they closed Ferlib, and soon after, that partnership was swallowed up by the larger company of Rizzini. Tanfoglio continues to work at Rizzini. I think he has some ownership there. But it is the design of the Rizzini round action over and under that is most generally accredited to Tanfoglio. This round action over and under has been a big hit with the market. Connecticut Shotgun has had the import agreement with Rizzini, and in just a few years came out with their own version of the round action over and under called the Inverness. There is other competition from Italian makers, but Rizzini has done a great job of staying ahead in both his gun's appeal and volume of sales.
Is one of these guns a Rizzini round action?
Yes, but with our two-gun story, I need to show how it fits in with the other gun. I have brought one of the Ferlib box lock side-by-side best guns in 20 gauge, fully engraved. It is an appropriate example of one of Ferlib's great handmade guns made without CNC machines and in the box lock best gun era. Let me pick it up. First, we check to see the gun's unloaded.
We're good.
And for unique comparison, I brought a Rizzini Grand Royal Extra over and under, which is the most deluxe version of a Rizzini round action. I want to check it, see if it's unloaded.
Good.
This one's also in 20 gauge, made with minimal handwork as an end product. It is undoubtedly a beautiful shotgun, regardless of how it was made. If you can get past the knockout gorgeous wood, notice the Boss style 4-inch iron that few makers have copied. Basically, this is a contrast of two guns made with totally different systems, the handmade and the computer made, the old way and the new way. Let's look at each gun, briefly comparing first how they are similar. I'm just going to hold them here for a minute. Both guns are double barrel shotguns. Both guns are 20 gauge. Both have solid ribs. Both have steel receivers. Both have automatic ejectors. Both have manual safeties. Both are box locks. Both have blue barrels. And both have coin finished actions. Both have walnut wood, although it may be different types of walnut. Both have classic combs, and finally, both are engraved, and their engraving is signed.
Wow, just looking at them, I could not see that much similarity. Counting them, you listed a dozen features they have in common.
I think they have more differences. Let's look at that. And Heidi, feel free to stop me or interrupt if you hear something you think we need to explain.
Gotcha.
Ferlib was made in 1984. The Rizzini was made in 2019. The Ferlib is handmade. The Rizzini is mostly CNC machine made with some hand fitting and hand finishing. The Ferlib has 26 3/4 inch barrels. The Rizzini has 29-inch barrels. Ferlib's barrels are arranged side by side. The Rizzini's are over and under. The Ferlib's chambers are 2 3/4 inch. Rizzini chambers are 3 inch.
Stop. Does that mean you cannot shoot 2 3/4 shells in the Rizzini? Pardon me.
No. You can usually shoot shorter shells in the chamber yeah, you can shoot the 2 3/4 in this. Okay, the Ferlib barrels are not chrome lined. The Rizzini barrels are. The Ferlib is a scalloped back box lock with a pretty double underlocking system. The Rizzini is a round action box lock with an under bolt locking system. The Ferlib has no side plates, and the Rizzini does. The Ferlib has 2 triggers with the front articulated. The Rizzini has a single selective trigger.
Stop, I forgot what articulated trigger means.
In a 2-trigger system, when the front trigger is articulated, it means it has a little spring behind it that allows it to swivel. So when the shooter fires the gun with the back trigger, he won't smack his finger into the front stationary trigger from recoil. If it's articulated, it moves to protect your finger from smashing into it abruptly. For an aftermarket upgrade, the Ferlib would not have interchangeable concealed chokes. The Rizzini comes with 5 concealed Rizzini chokes. Ferlib's rib is machine matted concave rib. The Rizzini's rib is a very fine machine checkered straight rib. The Ferlib style is the English style with a straight hand grip and drop points. The Rizzini has a Prince of Wales pistol grip with a grip cap, engraved grip cap. Ferlib has a splinter forearm. The Rizzini has the new and unusual boss style forearm.
Stop. What's the new and unusual boss style forend?
See how the metal, I'll point it out to the camera, see how the metal goes up and over the forearm high? It doesn't do that on almost all guns. Most of the guns are like this one. And Boss of London was the first to do it in 1909, and hardly anyone copied it until recently. It's been copied by two or three times. Where did I leave off? Continuing with their differences, the Ferlib straight hand grip accommodates a long tang with 2-screw hold downs and with a fancy terminus all perfectly inlaid by hand. Also note the receiver is curved shapes rather than the 90 degrees to the stock as typical box lock guns. That's another best gun feature. The Rizzini's pistol grip accommodates a trigger guard tang that extends full length to the pistol grip cap. The Ferlib stock has an inlaid oval awaiting a buyer's initials. The Rizzini doesn't. The Ferlib butt is hand-fit leather covered recoil pad. The Rizzini's butt is checkered end grain. The Ferlib is hand checkered at 32 lines per inch. The Rizzini may be hand checkered at 26 lines per inch based on the claims of their website, but it looks amazingly patterned, nearly too perfect. The Ferlib's finish is hand-rubbed oil finish. The Rizzini's finish is a beautiful, most likely a proprietary finish that takes much less time than a conventional hand-rubbed oil finish. The Ferlib is hand-engraved with the full coverage traditional scrolls, signed Bold D.
Stop. Who is Bold D?
I don't know. I couldn't find an Italian engraver named B-O-L period D period, but it is very high quality engraving. Where did we leave off?
I think with the Rizzini's engraver.
Oh, this one's good. Thank you. Okay, the Rizzini is hand engraved with a combination of full acanthus scrolls and 2 Bellino engraved game scenes of 2 birds, four different birds in flight. It is signed Bottega C. Giovanelli. The C is for Cesare, and here is where our superstar status shows up. Bottega is the Italian word for studio, and like the Beretta Studio we mentioned in episode 36, the studio of Cesare Giovanelli is in that same list of superstars of the Italian engraving in the book The Italian Gun. It also is one of the best engraving studios of Gardone.
Another superstar.
Yes, and continuing with our last two differences, the Ferlib weighs 5 pounds 7 ounces. The Rizzini weighs 6 pounds 8 ounces, which is helpful for shooting the 3-inch shells. The Ferlib is provided with a period leather trunk type case. The Rizzini is provided with a modern Rizzini ABS case.
Counting them by your comparison, they have 21 differences.
And what were the, how much was the similarities?
12. So 21 different versus 12 alike.
Well, thank you for keeping track of those.
That's my job.
Summing up, I'm not comparing these guns from a position of quality or even which gun is the most desirable. There may be many who are traditionalists that would prefer the Ferlib 20 here, even though the value is with the Rizzini based on the two guns' market value. But my point of the story with these two guns is the history that ties them together in a way the average student of fighting guns would have no idea. The Ferlib box lock through Tanfoglio and evolved into the Rizzini round action. And it is with this round action in this Grand Royal extra grade, I think Rizzini is giving us a real bargain to get a shotgun that is this beautiful that you might compare to any similar gun made by the Italian companies that are still making their over and unders by hand would be at least 5 to 8 times the price of this Rizzini Grand Royal extra.
It is a beautiful gun.
And the funny thing is, now Bautista Rizzini and Ivan Tanfoglio have decided it would help the image of the company if they were to get back in the game of making bespoke guns by hand, coming back full circle to where Tanfoglio was with Ferlib in the beginning before Rizzini entered the picture. If you review the Rizzini website, you will find that they now have set up a custom department to make customer guns specializing in nearly any option the buyer wants. The website reads Customs by Rizzini Artisans and states that Bautista Rizzini and Ivano Tanfoglio have joined forces to bring you quite possibly the most talented custom gun shop in the world. These two craftsmen have established themselves as two of the acclaimed gun makers in the industry. It further states that, and I'll quote, everything produced in their custom shop will be made 100% by hand, from side by side to over and under, hammer guns and rifles, close quote. My guess is because of Bautista Rizzini's and Ivano Tanfoglio's proven mastery of gun production, their handmade guns will not be priced as high as something like a London-made Boss over and under, or a Bossi Michelangelo, or a Famars Leonardo, but only time will tell, so we'll see. That's it for today. Thank you, Heidi, and thank you, viewers, for watching, and if you enjoyed this episode, I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and share with others, and I hope you join us for our next video, continuing our tribute to Italian gun makers. We will be introducing what many feel is the best gun maker of all the Italian makers.
Ciao, everyone.
If you want to get involved with these types of guns, I recommend gunsinternational.com. The owners are great people. I know them and have been using their website since they started. I find it the best source for both buying and selling any great collectible gun.